you very much, Ralph Conlon. Hello again, everybody. Wayne Garrett, a left-hand batter, is hitting .254. He has 16 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Facing Bert Hooton, who has won 14 games and lost 16 this year. The right-hander goes into the motion. Here's the first pitch of the day, and it's high for a ball. The infield for the Chicago Cubs. Gonzalo Marquez at first base. Paul Popovich at second. Don Kessinger at short, and Ron Santo at third. Again now, the pitch by Hooton. Swung on, hit in the air to short right field. Jose Cardinal's coming up, and Cardinal one-hands the ball for the out. Lost his cap, but he pulled back at first and then had a long run in. Second baseman Popovich was going out, so the ball was nestled into the glove of Cardinal for the put-out. One away, and coming up now is Felix Millan. Felix Millan has 183 base hits. The all-time record for hits in a season by a New York Met, surpassing by one. A total of 182 by Tommy 70. The 183 ties the largest number of hits that Millan has ever had in a major league season. Here's Hooton with the pitch, swung on and missed at strike one.
Wrigley Field temperature game time 64 degrees, 6-4. Official Chicago temperature game time 65, 6-5.
Here's the pitch, swung on, and it's fouled out to the left side, out of play.
Out of the east at 7 miles per hour.
The official temperature here at Wrigley Field at game time is 64 degrees. The official Chicago temperature is 65 degrees, and the wind is out of the east at 7 miles per hour. 2 strikes to count to Millan as Bert Hooton goes into the motion, and here's the pitch. Swung on it in the air to center field, and Rick Mundy is there. Mundy backs up a step or two and makes the catch. 2 men out, and Rusty Staub will be the batter. Rusty Staub has hit safely in 14 consecutive games. He is hitting .274, 15 homers and 75 runs batted in. For Bert Hooton, this is his 34th start of the year, his 6th of 1973 against the New York Mets. His last start was Thursday. That game he went 7 2/3, gave up 2 runs on 8 hits, nailed with a 2-0 loss to the Cardinals. Here's a swing and a foul ball, left side out of play. Against New York this year, Hooton has won 3 and lost 2. And against the New York Mets, he has an ERA of 1.93 in 42 innings. Last season, he was 2-3 in 5 starts against the Mets. His lifetime against them, 7 wins, 5 losses. Here's a pitch, and it's high for a ball. Bert Hooton is a young man out of the University of Texas who uses, among other things, a knuckle curve, for which he has been widely publicized. 2 men out, nobody on base, no score. Mets batting in the top half of the first inning. Now again, here's the pitch. Swung on, it's on the ground to second base. Popovich squares it up and over to first base to Marcus in time. So the side is retired in order, nothing across. In the middle of the first inning, the score is the Mets nothing and the Cubs coming to bat. Seaver is on the mound for the New York Mets. He has a record of 18 wins and 10 losses. Against the Chicago Cubs this year, he has won none and lost 1. His lifetime record against them is 10 wins and 12 losses. This is his 36th start of the season. Seaver is the National League strikeout leader with 249. Tied for the league lead in complete games with Steve Carlton at 18 each. With 284 innings pitched this season, Seaver is 7 shy of his career high of 291 innings. He leads all Major League starting pitchers with an ERA of 2.0. And Rick Mundy will lead off for the Chicago Cubs. Mundy is a left-hand batter. He is hitting .264. He has 25 homers and 54 runs batted in. Cloudy and overcast here in Chicago. Seaver takes the sign from Jerry Grody, goes into the motion. Here's his first pitch of the day. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike. Out on deck is Don Kessinger. Started him off with a curveball. Pete Reeser is the third base coach for the Chicago Cubs, and Ernie Banks is on the lines at first. Seaver with a strike one delivery, and it's high and away for a ball. It's 1-1. By splitting the doubleheader here yesterday, the New York Mets assured themselves of no worse than a tie in the pennant race in the Eastern Division of the National League. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up to right field. Rusty Staub moves up. He's got a long run, but he gets there for the towering pop and one hands the ball. One away. Don Kessinger is the batter. Hitting .261 with 42 runs batted in. He is a switch hitter. The New York Mets, of course, came out today to Wrigley Field. Left their hotel at 9 a.m. Chicago time, mindful of the fact they could win one of the two games. They would win the pennant in the Eastern Division. Also mindful of the fact that if they could not win one of the two, that the playoff possibilities were fairly complicated, depending on what happens, among other things, in Pittsburgh between the San Diego Padres and the Pirates this afternoon. Here's a swing and a miss. Cardinals, of course, have finished at 81-81 and even 500. So they're simply standing by. Strike one is the count to Don Kessinger. Billy Williams is on deck. Here's a swing and a miss. 2-strike count. Kessinger steps back now out of the batter's box. Settling himself back in now. A little water on that batter's box. Here's the pitch. And it's blown away for a ball. 1-2. Natural grass and dirt infield here at Wrigley Field. There is no artificial turf here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and foul back. Off the screen and out of play. Count holds at 1-2. Bob Sheffing, the general manager of the New York Mets, is seated just behind home plate here this afternoon. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Hit on the ground, wide of first, and it's taken by Milner. Seaver covers it first for a 3-1 put out. In time. 2 away. It was to the right of Milner. Hard hit ground ball. He went over, took it on a big hop, and Seaver got off the mound in a hurry, covering in time. With 2 away, that'll bring up Billy Williams. He is hitting .288. He has 20 home runs and 85 runs batted in. The Chicago Cubs, of course, were out front early in the Eastern Division race this year. On up to midseason, they were out front, and suddenly it all went away. Here's a swing on a high pop fly to right field. It's a long run in for Rusty Staub, but he's getting there, and he one-hands it for the out. So the side is retired in order. Nothing across at the end of an inning. The score is the Mets nothing and the Cubs nothing.
We've only just begun.
Although some people would say thrift is its own reward, we think a little differently. We're Troy Savings. Here you earn the top rate on all accounts. And the reward is the way your money grows. Whether you're just starting out or you're well on your way, now is a good time to begin saving. We do more for you than offer savings plans, though, with our convenient hours and Saturday banking and our list of services ranging from property improvement loans to financial counseling. See us. You've got a long way to go. We'd like to help you get there. Troy Savings Bank. Member Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
4GWABY.
A very thin crowd gathered here today for this doubleheader. As a matter of fact, I think I recognize most of them. John Milner is in and waiting now. Left-hand batter. Bert Hooton goes into the motion, and here is the pitch. It is in there for a called strike. Milner's hitting .241, 23 homers and 71 runs batted in. Good many members of the Mets official family are here. Now the pitch. Fouled off and out of play. 2-strike count to Milner. Cleon Jones has moved out on deck. Eddie Yost is on the coaching lines at third, and Roy McMillan is the Met coach at first base. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Curveball fouled off to the left side, out of play. Count holds at 2 strikes to John Milner. Then the delivery hit on the ground. Fair ball back at first, fielded there by Marcus. He gets it over to Hooton, covering for a 3-1 put out. Gonzalo Marcus retreated to take the ball down the line, back of the bag at first. One away, Cleon Jones is the batter. Jones is hitting .259, 10 homers and 47 runs batted in. He's had 13 runs batted in his last 9 games. And Cleon Jones has turned in some fantastic plays defensively. There are as many people here rooting for the Mets as there are for the Cubs at Wrigley Field this afternoon. Jones, a right-hand batter. Hooten takes his time from catcher Ken Rudolph, and here's the pitch. It's low for a ball. Augie Donatelli is the umpire behind the plate. Ed Sudol is at first, Harry Wendelstedt at second, and Nick Colosi is the umpire around at third. Here's the 1-0 delivery to Jones, and it is swung on. It deep to right field. It is way back there, and Cardinal goes to the wall. It is up for a home run for Cleon Jones. Cleon Jones continues his hot streak. His 11th home run of the year, and the Mets are leading by a score of 1-0. That one was just up high enough for the home run over the ivy-covered wall out in right field, about the 368 time. He has hit 6 home runs in his last 9 games. Cleon Jones is second against the Chicago Cubs of the year. He hit one yesterday off Ferguson Jenkins. So now Jerry Grody is up. Grody is hitting .253, 1 homer, and 30 runs batted in. He is also a right-hand batter. Bert Hooten goes into the motion, and here's the pitch. It is in there for a called strike to Grody. Batting number 6 in the Met batting order. Early this morning, it was sunny in Chicago. Now it is heavily overcast and somewhat dark. Here is a pitch and called strike. 2-strike count. And of course, the great problem involved if there are rain delays is the fact that there are no lights. Grody settles himself carefully back into the batter's box. Bert Hooten takes the sign, goes into the motion. Here's the pitch. Swung on it on the ground to the right side, and it's going through for a base hit for Grody. Picked up by Jose Cardinal and played back. So Grody is on at first with 1 away, and Don Hahn, the center fielder, is coming up. Hahn's hitting .233, 2 homers, and 21 runs batted in. Here at Wrigley Field this year, the Chicago Cubs have won 41 and lost 38. Against Eastern Division opponents, they've played even 500, 44-44. Hahn is in and waiting. Marcus holds against the runner at first. Grody takes his lead there. Here's the pitch, curveball, hammered on the ground at the middle. Taken by Kessinger. He flips it over to Popovich for 1 to throw to first, a double play. 6-4-3, short second first. And so the side is retired. But the Mets got a run on 2 hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the second, the score is the Mets 1, the Cubs nothing.
14 WABY.
A very slight drizzling rain has begun to fall here at Wrigley Field, forcing some of the customers to move back from their exposed positions behind home plate up underneath the overhanging upper deck. Not raining hard enough yet to suspend play, and Ron Santo is coming up. Santo is hitting .269, 20 homers, and 76 runs batted in. A few umbrellas have sprung up down in the lower field boxes now. Here's a swing and a ground ball to third, a foul ball, gloved by Garrett. Met general manager Bob Sheffing and team physician Peter Lamont have moved back from their exposed position there behind the plate for a little more shelter. Just a misting rain. Strike 1. The count to Ron Santo with Cardinal on deck. Tom Seaver into the motion. Here's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. It's 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering. Swung on and fouled back. The bad boy has covered the bat in the bat rack at the dugout with towels, with white towels, covering him completely now. That's a pretty weird appearance. It's like the whole outfit is surrendered. Here's a 1-2 pitch, and it breaks high, so it is 2-2. 2-2 delivery to Ron Santo. Curveball, and it's dribble foul off to the left side out of play. Seaver rubbing up the new ball now. As Santo comes back into the batter's box. And that's for the record of 81 wins and 79 losses. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right, and Rusty Staub has it lined up and makes the catch. Oh, was smacked on the button by Santo, but directly at Staub and right. Now Jose Cardinal is coming up. Cardinal's hitting .303 for the year, 11 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Cardinal's a right-hand batter. Seaver's curveball is in there for a called strike. 1-1. That's in for a strike. It is 0-2 now to Cardinal. Seaver's last start was last Thursday at Shea Stadium. Here's a pitch low for a ball. Yeah, I beg your pardon. It was on Wednesday. Thursday was the travel day. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, third base, picked up there by Wayne Garrett. So the first in time, Cardinals out 2 away. Gonzalo Marquez is coming up now. The first baseman is hitting .200. He has 1 homer and 4 runs batted in. M-A-R-Q-U-E-Z. Left-hand batter. The Mets are leading 1-0. The Cubs are batting in the bottom of the second inning. Wrigley Field in Chicago. That pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Paul Popovich is on deck. Now the 1-0. Swung on it in the air down the left field line, but it is slicing, and it is a foul ball in the seats down the left field corner.
Check with the Pirates. It's raining in Pittsburgh.
The press report here is that it is raining in Pittsburgh.
Pirates, the forecast also is not good for the rest of the day there.
And we are further informed that the forecast is not good for the remainder of the day in Pittsburgh, where the San Diego Padres are scheduled this afternoon. Some kind of race, I'll tell you. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and looped out into left center field, and Hahn comes on, can't get there. It's a base hit. He picks it up barehanded, tosses it back in. And that is the first hit of the day for the Cubs off Seaver, who had retired 5 consecutive batters. Now Paul Popovich, a switch hitter, comes around to bat left-handed. He's hitting .237. 2 homers and 24 runs batted in. Milner holds against the runner. Here's a pitch popped up, fouled on the left field line, out of play. Garrett starts and then holds up. The ball's well back in the seat. So it's strike 1. The championship series, to determine the pennant winner in the National League, the 5-game series between East and West, best 3 of 5, is scheduled to start on Saturday at Cincinnati. The Reds, of course, have long since wrapped up the pennant in the Western Division with 99 wins and 63 losses. There's a pitch missing high and away, and it's 1-1. But that is always, of course, presuming that the Eastern Division pennant has been settled by then. Here's the 1-1. Fastball hit in the air to center field, and Hahn was shaded over in left center. He has good position, waits, and makes the catch. So, side is retired. There is a hit, and there's 1 left. At the end of 2 innings, the score is the Mets 1 and the Cubs nothing. It's a gray, cloudy, overcast, drizzly day in Chicago. The New York Mets are leading the Cubs by a score of 1-0 in the first game of a doubleheader. As it goes to the 3rd inning here for the play-by-play, Ralph Steiner.
All right, Lindsey Nelson, and it is raining right now. As the Mets come up in the 3rd, the first batter will be Bud Harrelson. Mets leading on a score of 1-0. The home run by Cleon Jones is 11th of the year. Harrelson batting .259. He's hit in 13 of his last 15 ball games. In this series, he's had one hit in 7 times. Up he squares, bunts the ball out toward third. It is foul, and the ball fouled by just a matter of about a half a foot. Or Harrelson would have had a base hit. Bert Hooten has given up 1 run. He has allowed 2 hits. Struck out none and walked none. Hooten has won 14 and lost 16 this year. Last year he won 11 and lost 14. Lifetime he has won 27 and lost 30 in the major league. Harrelson back in the batter's box. Sandel, the third baseman, about 75 feet away of the bunt. Now the pitch to Harrelson, swung on and grounded foul. It's strike 2. Looking up at the scoreboard here at Wrigley Field, shows no game for all the ball clubs except the Pirates and the Mets. There's a ground ball foul into the Met dugout, so they can't stage at strike 2. The season over for all the ball clubs except the Mets and Cubs and Pittsburgh and San Diego. Pitch a curveball down low. It's 1-2. In the month of September, the Mets won 19 and lost 8. Now going in the month of October, the pitch back to Harrelson. It is over the inside corner, strike 3 called, and that's Hooten's first strikeout. That will bring up Tom Seaver. Tom has been up 90 times this year. He's had 14 base hits. Mets leading 1-0. 1 man out, top of the third. Seaver has had 2 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run, and 5 runs batted in, batting .156. Seaver, a right-hand batter, in the first pitch. It's up high, a ball. Rain coming down steadily now. It's not a heavy rain, but it's much more than a drizzle. The 1-0 pitch to Seaver, called strike 1-1. Forecast is for some intermittent showers for a couple hours and then supposedly to clear. Now at 1-1. The windup and pitch by Hooten. Swung on and missed. A breaking pitch. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the right-hander into the windup. The 1-2 pitch. It is a check in the swing, and it's called a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire, the oldest umpire in service in the National League, Augie Donatelli. He's in charge of the 4-man crew. There's a ground ball out towards short. Kessinger is left side, fields the ball, throws the first for the out. Now with 2 men out, the batter will be Wayne Garrett. Wayne, his first time up, flat out to right field. Brought an 8-game hitting streak into the game. He was 3 for 5 yesterday. Garrett hitting .253. 16 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Mets leading 1-0 on the home run by Cleon Jones. And the first pitch to Garrett, a called strike at the knees over the inside corner. Hooten into the windup. The pitch back to Garrett. Hit on the ground through the hole into right field, a base hit. Garrett makes the turn at first base and holds there as the ball comes to a complete stop before it's picked up by Jose Cardinal. The grass is that wet and that heavy. So the Mets have their third base hit, a runner on with 2 men away, and Felix Millan coming up. Millan now with a club record for base hits in a single season. He has 183, breaking the record held by Tommy Agee at 182. In this ball game, Cleon flied out to center field in the first. He's 3 for 9 in the series. Millan, a right-hand batter, choking way up on the bat. Garrett at first base. The first pitch is high, ball 1. Millan hitting .289 for the year. And the pitch back to Millan, grounded out to third, fielded by Sano. He goes for the force play at second and gets it. The side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, a man left at first, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings. The Mets 1, the Cubs nothing. It's the bottom half of the third, and Tom Seaver getting set to go against the Cubs, and the leadoff batter will be the catcher, Ken Rudolph. Mets have had 1 run on 3 base hits, runs and 1 base hit. Gonzalo Marquez moved a single in the left center field in the second for the Cub base hit. It came with 2 men out. Rudolph batting 192. And Seaver into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled back at strike 1. And the rain continues to fall. It's also increasing in intensity.
I'll say it is. It's raining hard, what it's doing.
Now the pitch back. It's lined to left center field, a base hit. A breaking ball hit off Seaver. Rudolph makes the turn at first and holds there. And now the Cubs have the potential tying run on with no one out in the third. And the batter coming up, the pitcher, Bert Hooten. Has been up 70 times. He's had 9 base hits. 3 runs driven in. He's batting 129. He's in a bunting situation here. Hooten, a right-hand batter. Garrett, the third baseman for the Mets, is already inside. He's about 70 feet away. Rudolph is not fast, the runner at first base, but the footing has to be very precarious. And the first pitch, a called strike, as Hooten in bunting position takes the pitch through. 1 strike count. Again, Seaver works up from the set position. The pitch back is bunted foul at strike 2, and Seaver fell down off of the mound. Seaver fell prone flat on his chest as he came down off of the mound, which appears to be very slippery. Augie Donatelli, the home plate umpire, looking around. He is in a very difficult situation. He would prefer to have this ball game continue through without stopping. Of course, there can be a point where the field gets unplayable. And, of course, the Mets would hope that the playable field can keep Seaver in the ball game without having any rain delays. And the pitch back to Hooten. He squares, bunts it hard to first. Should be a play at second. Milner throws to Harrelson. The throw time as the Mets get the force play at second on the bunt by Bert Hooten. The throw by Harrelson back to Meehan was not in time. And so the Mets get the lead runner. And now with a runner at first and 1 out, the batter will be Rick Mundy. Mundy flied out to right field his first time up. He's batting .263. Don Kessinger comes out to the on-deck circle with his bat completely wrapped up in a towel. He lays it down, trying to keep it dry as he goes for the heavier bat for his practice swing. Hooten, the runner at first base, is not being held on by Milner. He's playing behind the bag about 2 steps. Seaver to the set position. Here's the pitch. And Mundy takes it low, and it's ball 1. Mets leading 1-0. The Cubs with the runner at first base. 1 man out, bottom half of the third, and it's raining. And Seaver with his next delivery. Again low. Fastball missing below the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Seaver started this ball game at 249 strikeouts for the year. He is the National League leader. He has not struck out a batter. Now the right-hander sets. Here's the pitch. And he misses low again. 3 balls and no strikes. The count. Mundy out of the batter's box, now gets back in. And Seaver with the sign. His 3-0 delivery. Over the inside corner, a strike, and it's 3-1. Mundy taking all away. Moved out actually into bunting position to take the pitch. Seaver making his 36th appearance. Now has worked 287 innings per season. Pitch back to the plate, hit hard, and Harrelson dives for it. It goes through in the center field, a base hit. Hooten goes to second base and holds there, so now the Cubs have the tying run at second. The go-ahead run on at first base with 1 man out, and the batter coming up is Don Kessinger. Cubs now have had 3 base hits. The Mets have had 3. That is the first hit for Mundy in this series. Yesterday, he was up 7 times, struck out 5. First time up today, he flied out to right field. So he is now 1 for 9 in the series. Ron Kessinger was out on a good play by Milner his first time up. Kessinger hitting .261, batting left-handed against the right-hander. And the first pitch to Kessinger, a called strike. Cubs with their first runner in scoring position. Bert Hooton, the pitcher, is there. And Seaman, and the pitch is a fastball. It misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. The weather here in Chicago has been miserable ever since the Mets arrived. Next pitch back is swung on and missed. The fastball over the outside corner about knee-high. It's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. On deck batter, Billy Williams. And the pitch. It is swung on and fouled into the upper deck. So the count remains at 1-2. Cubs will draw about 1,350,000 this year. Again, Seaver ready. And the 1-2 pitch. Grounded out in the hole. Fielded by Harrelson. The throw to second in time. On to first. The double on the side. Retired. And Seaver leaves Billy Williams in the on-deck circle as the double play is pulled off by Harrelson. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left in the score. At the end of 3, the Mets won, the Cubs nothing. We're going to the top of the 4th inning. The Mets leading 1-0 on Cleon Jones's home run. And for the Mets, against Bert Hooton will be Rusty Staub, John Milner, and Cleon Jones as the first 3 batters. And it's continuing to come down, well, they say showers, but, well, I've had it. Very few showers, Lindsay, that I've ever taken in a hotel that ever put out this much rain. It's just plain raining. It's raining fairly hard. Augie Donatelli, the umpire behind the plate, skidding around there in the mud. Now, I hope he got 2 fair passes to that suit because it's getting in fairly bad shape. I hope he's got good material in that coat because it'll look like about half the size if it continues like this. Rusty Staub stepping up. He grounded out to second his first time up. Both sides have had 3 base hits. The first pitch to Staub, a fastball. It's high. It's ball 1. Bert Hooton working for the Cubs. He has a record of 14 wins, 16 losses. Staub brought a 14-game hitting streak into this game. He was 4 for 9 yesterday. Now the pitch back to the plate. Swung on and fouled back into the stands. It's 1-1. Rain also in Pittsburgh. They're scheduled to start that game in Pittsburgh in about a half hour. San Diego against Pittsburgh. Bruce Keeson, the starting pitcher for the Pirates, against Randy Jones, the left-hander. Now swinging the foul into the stands. It's 1-2. Pitch back by Hooton. Staub hits it on the ground through into right field, just beyond the reach of Paul Popovich. And Rusty now has hit in 15 consecutive ball games. The Mets have their lead batter on with John Milner coming up. John grounded out his first time up. He was 2 for 7 yesterday, breaking an 0 for 20 slump. Staub hitting .274. Milner coming up, hitting .241. He leads the club in home runs with 23. He has 71 runs batted in. Cubs are not looking for a sacrifice. Now Sano does move up, but the pitch is taken in hitting position by Milner. It's down low for a ball. Dug out of the dirt by Rudolph, and Staub holds at first base. Milner steps out of the batter's box, takes a practice swing as Bert Hooton works on the spikes of his right shoe, trying to get the mud and what have you out of there. It appears to be brightening just a shade. Next pitch to Milner. It is low again. 2 balls, no strikes. Now, if I believe that the umpires have decided we're going to play 5 innings, come 5, flood, or famine. We might have the flood very shortly. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch back to Milner. He takes it low again, ball 3, and it's 3-0. There have been no walks in the ball game so far, and there has been only 1 strikeout. Bert Hooton struck out Bud Harrelson. 3-0 the count. And the pitch. It is low, and Milner walks on 4 pitches, putting Staub down at second. So the Mets have runners at first and second with no one out, and Cleon Jones coming up. In the 9th inning, with the Mets trailing by 1 run, Milner singled in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, and Cleon Jones sacrificed him to second. But he was left there as the Mets could not tie up the ball game. Now a decision right here as to whether or not he'll have Jones bunting. Jones has been the hottest batter for the Mets. He's had 14 runs batted in his last 10 games. He's hit 6 home runs. Mike Paul, a left-hander, quickly starting to throw in the bullpen for the Cubs. First pitch to Jones. He was not in bunting position. The pitch in the dirt and blocked by Rudolph, and the runners hold. Jones hitting .261, 11 home runs, 48 runs batted in for the year. Now Hooten back to the plate, and Jones takes low again. That's 6 in a row out of the strike zone, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Leon with a home run in the doubleheader yesterday, the big blow in the second game, which the Mets finally won by a big score. Now at 2-0, the pitch to Jones. He swings a hard swing, and he misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Mets leading by a score of 3-2. Jones hit a 2-run home run that put the ball game at 5-2. Gave Jerry Kuzman some breathing room. And the 2-1 pitch. That's low in the dirt again and caught by the catcher. 3 balls and 1 strike. On deck batter is Jerry Grody. Mets with runners at first and second, and it is getting lighter, Lindsay.
It is, in fact, but it's also still raining, and we may make a scientific discovery that the knuckle curve cannot be thrown well in a rainstorm.
It might be very good and true and good for the Mets. Here's the 3-1 pitch to Jones. He takes low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. A single by Rusty Staub, a walk on 4 pitches to John Milner, and a walk on 5 pitches to Cleon Jones. The Mets have the bases loaded, and Jerry Grody coming up. No one out. The Mets batting in the 4th inning. They're leading 1-0. And we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
In the Capital District, this is the home of the New York Mets. WABY, Albany.
Ralph Kiner, along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Wrigley Field. The Mets with the bases loaded. They're leading 1-0, no one out. They're batting in the 4th. Cubs are going to play their infield in, and the sun is starting to break through. It is still drizzling to some extent, but the sun is breaking through. And Hooten working from the set position. Rodel his first time up. Here's the pitch, a line drive to center field, a base hit. 2 runs should score. Rusty Staub from third base, Milner in from second base, and going to second and holding there is Cleon Jones. And Jerry Grody, who has batted over 300 for the last 7 or so weeks, coming up with a big base hit, and the Mets leading by a score of 3-0. Grody now 2 for 2 in the game. He was lifted for a pinch hitter in the 9th inning when the Mets lost the first game 1-0. Don Hahn coming up. Don hit into a double play his first time up. He's batting .233 for the year. Runs batted in for Grody, his 31st and 32nd of the year. And the first pitch to Hahn. He squares in bunting position, takes low, throw to second base, and Jones just does meet the throw taken by Kessinger. And down in right field, the chant, "Let's go Mets." Ball, no strikes. Again, the Cubs looking for the sacrifice. Hahn squares, bunts the ball, but bunts it foul. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck batter is Bud Harrelson. He'll be followed by the pitcher. Mike Paul, a left-hander, continues to throw in the bullpen for the Cubs. Mets have 3 runs on 5 base hits. Jones, a runner at second base. Grody at first. Again, Hahn squares and bunts, and the ball is bunted foul. So the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch was out of the strike zone that Hahn bunted. So now he's in the hole with a 1-2 count. Eddie Yost comes down the line, the third base coach, to signal the signs, and now goes back into the coaching box position. Hooten sets up, checks at second base, and the pitch. Hahn has a start of it and then holds up in time as he was not bunting. It's in the dirt, and a count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hahn has driven in 21 runs. He's had 2 home runs. And we actually have shadows on the field now. The sun filters through the overcast. So just a very light mist. Next pitch is outside, and it's a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2. Jones checking to see whether or not he'll be running at second base. The field is very slow. Also, Hahn does strike out much. He does strike out. Hahn trying to dig a place in the batter's box as Bert Hooten works again. The mud in his cleats, trying to get the mud out of his cleats with some sort of a device that they have left on the pitcher's mound. 3-2 the count. Hooten sets up. The runners are going. The pitch is hit out to left center field. A long way for Rick Monday to run. He's still going. Coming over is Williams, and Williams makes a one-hand catch. Going back to second base is Cleon Jones. Grody, who was already at second, goes back to first. And a one-hand catch in the warning track by Billy Williams on the long drive by Don Hahn. So Hahn becomes the first out of the inning, and the batter coming up is Bud Harrelson. Mets leading by a score of 3-0 as they bat in the 4th inning. Harrelson was struck out his first time up. Bud hitting .259. He's driven in 20 runs. He has hit safely in 13 of his previous 15 ball games. And Bert Hooten now set to go. The first pitch by Harrelson with the runners going, and it's fouled back into the upper deck. It's strike 1. So the hit and run play put on the first pitch with Cleon Grody moving with the pitch. That play right there is Casey Stengel's favorite play. Hit and run with runners at first and second base. And one of the things about it, you've got the entire infield moving. Third baseman has to move toward third to cover. Either the shortstop or second baseman moving toward second. Now the pitch back to Harrelson. It's grounded down the right field line. It's fouled by about a foot. And they counted strike 2. The ball had been fair, I'm pretty sure it would have been fielded by Gonzalo Marquez, the first baseman. So Jones back to second base, Grody back to first. And a 2-strike count on Bud Harrelson, the receiver on deck. Once again, Hooten setting up on the pitching rubber. Now has the signs. And his pitch to Harrelson. It is hit out to center field. Moving back is Monday. He was over left center field. And he makes a catch directly in center field for the out. So now 2 men out and Tom Seaver coming up.
The game continues at the beginning of side 2 after a short delay.
Harrelson. It is hit out to center field. Moving back is Monday. He was over in left center field, and he makes a catch directly in center field for the out. So now 2 men out and Tom Seaver coming up. In this inning, the Mets have scored 2. Rusty Staub led off with a single on the ground between first and second. John Milner walked on 4 pitches to put runners at first and second. Cleon Jones walked on 5 pitches to load up the bases. Grody came through with a single to left center to drive in 2. But with runners at first and second and no one out, Don Hahn flied out the deep left center and Harrelson flying out to center. Mets' first run coming in the second on a home run by Cleon Jones is 11th home run of the season. And now the first pitch to Tom Seaver, a swing and a miss at strike 1. Tom grounded out to short his first time up. He's driven in 5 runs this year. He's batting .154. Now Hooten again to the set position. And the pitch back to Seaver. He swings at a breaking ball and grounds it foul. Strike two. Mike Paul continuing to throw in the bullpen for the Cubs. And the signs are out for the two-strike pitch. It's on the way, and Seaver grounds it in the hole, going over Sano to cut it off. He makes a good play, throws over to the second baseman, Popovich, covering at second base for the out that retires the side. Good play by Sano on that ball to his left. In the inning, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 left. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings, the Mets 3, the Cubs nothing. They will then come home for Monday's game, and then if it goes on, Tuesday and Wednesday. So keep watch and see what happens to the Mets, and if they make it here today or later on in a playoff game, be sure to contact the Met ticket offices and also read your local newspapers for how the tickets will be dispersed for the National League Championship season, the games for the championship of the National League. Tom Seaver getting set to pitch in the 4th inning. He'll be working to Billy Williams, Juan Sano, and Jose Cardinal. Mets leading 3-0 on a home run by Cleon Jones in the 2nd, and 2 runs driven in by Jerry Grody in the 4th. Billy Williams flied out the right field on his first pitch back in the 1st inning. Williams batting .288 with 20 home runs and 85 runs batted in for the season. And Seaver's first delivery of ball. It appears that the rain has stopped here at Wrigley Field. Next pitch, a fastball swung on and foul tipped. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. All was trying to break through is blocked out again by the overcast. It is a foggy, low overcast here in Chicago.
Well, we have a further report from Pittsburgh that it is still raining there, and it is still overcast there, and the field is still covered there.
1 ball, 1 strike. High fly ball hit out to shallow right center field. Staub moving over and up. Gets under the ball, pounds his glove, and makes the catch. So Williams now has flied out the right and is 2 times up and brings up Juan Sano, who also has been up once and flied out the right field. Sano hitting .268. He has 20 home runs, 76 runs batted in. We have a breeze blowing in from right center field off of Lake Michigan. Temperature game time is 64, so it's not a cold day. Pitch to Sano, fastball over a called strike. Seaver is tied with Steve Carlton for the most complete games in the National League at 18. And at 1 strike is pitched to Sano, a breaking ball, a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Takes a glance over toward the Met dugout, now looks back in for the signs, goes into the windup, and the pitch. Fastball swung on, foul back. So the count holds at strike 2. That pitch might have been out of the strike zone. Pitch up that looked to be about high to Sano. Now again, Seaver into the windup. Here's the pitch. Sano has a check in the swing. He did not swing according to Augie Donatelli. It's called a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Augie Donatelli has a mannerism. He claps his hands. Just 1 clap. Does it all the time throughout the ball game. Like, come on, let's go, and 1 clap, and that's it. It's a fastball swung on a miss, and Seaver has his first strike out of this ball game. That's number 250 in the season. He leads the National League. With 2 men out, the batter coming up will be Jose Cardinal. He grounded out the 3rd his first time up. Batting .303 for the year. pitch to the right-hand batter is low. It's ball one. Mets leading 3-0. 2 men out, bottom of the fourth. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fastball, a hard swing and a miss, and the ball should say fouled. Fouled back, and it's 1-1. If the Mets win the first game, Lindsay, and that game at Pittsburgh is held up because of rain and they don't get it started, they don't have to play it.
They're really going to be happy about flying in there and arriving at 2 a.m. then.
Just turn around and scatter back. One ball, one strike. And Seaver's next delivery. Cardinal jumps back. It's rolling inside, 2-1. And the 2-1 delivery. Swung on and fouled back into the stands, 2-2. Seaver back with a fastball that time. Not only are the Pirates watching this ball game or listening to it, the St. Louis Cardinals are. The Cardinals have finished their season at 81-81. And the Mets would have to lose 2 for the Cardinals to tie. There's a drive to left off a breaking ball. A clean single to left field by Cardinal. Fourth base hit off Tom Seaver. Comes with 2 men out and brings up Gonzalo Cage. Marcus, I should call him, looped the base hit to left center field his first time up. That was the first hit off Seaver. Came with 2 out in the second. Left-hand batter. And the first pitch. It is high and away a ball. Marcus hitting .214. 1 home run, 4 runs batted in. He's been up 56 times. And Seaver's next pitch, fastball, hit the left center, another base hit. Coming up is Cleon Jones to make the play. Takes it on one hop, and Cardinal goes to second base and holds there. So now the potential tying run is at the plate. The batter coming up is Paul Popovich. Popovich flied out to center field his first time up. He's had 2 home runs this year. He's driven in 24. He's batting .237. He's a switch hitter batting left-handed against Seaver. Hits are all even at 5 apiece, and Seaver, again, in the situation with runners at first and second. In the third, they were at first and second with 1 out. They got Kessinger hit into a double play with Billy Williams on deck. And the first pitch to Popovich. It's low and inside a ball. Seaver to the set position. His next pitch to the plate. It is inside and ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Now the right-hander sets up. And the 2-0 delivery. It is swung on and fouled into the upper deck. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Seaver again to the position, and the 2-1 delivery. It is swung on and fouled straight back into the upper deck, 2-2. Seaver against the Cubs in his career has won 10 and lost 12. This year he has lost 1 and won none. He got beat 1-0 in the game he lost. 2-2. Seaver ready. And his next delivery. It is hit out to center field. Hahn is right there. He moves over and up and makes the catch on the side as we retire. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. And the score at the end of 4. The Mets 3, the Cubs nothing.
There is no rain falling here at Wrigley Field at all at the moment. And as a matter of fact, the sun is trying to break through the overcast and doing a pretty good job of it. Bert Hooton, who started, is still on the mound for the Chicago Cubs. The Mets will have the top of the batting order coming up, and that means Wayne Garrett. He flied to right, and he had a base hit on the ground to right, 1 for 2. Garrett is a left-hand batter facing right-hand pitcher Bert Hooten. Hooten with a record of 14 wins and 16 losses this year for the Chicago Cubs. Rudolph sends out the sign, and Bert Hooten goes into the motion. Here's the pitch to Garrett. Breaks high for a ball. It's 1-0. Felix Millan is on deck. Outfield defense straight away against Wayne Garrett. It's a swing and a drive down the right field line. It is a fair ball. It should be extra bases. Garrett's around first on his way to second. Cardinal over, chases the ball down. Garrett goes to second and holds there with a double. Wayne Garrett, with his 20th double of the year, leads off here with the two-bagger in the fifth inning, and Felix Millan is coming up. The Mets are leading in the game by a score of 3-0, and Mike Paul gets up to throw again in the bullpen for the Chicago Cubs. It's the second time that they're today. Millan slide to center, grounded into a force play so far. He's a right-hand batter. Grounds crew went out between innings to do a little work on the home plate area and the area of the mound to get it dried out a little. Now Bert Hooten sets up, checks Garrett at second base. Here's the pitch to Millan. He squares, bunts the ball up into the air, foul to the left side, out of play. Trying to move Garrett over to the third base where he could score on a sacrifice fly or base hit or a number of other ways. So it is strike one to Millan, who is followed in the order by Rusty Staub. Millan looks to sign man Eddie Yost to see if the sacrifice is still on. Bert Hooten, meanwhile, is trying to get a little mud out of his spice out there on the mound. Millan back in now. Hooten sets up, and the pitch. Bunted up the third base line, and it is a foul ball. Glove there by Santo. That will bring Millan back on a two-strike count. Wayne Garrett returns to the bag at second. Nobody out. The Mets got their first run in the second inning when Cleon Jones hit a home run to right. They picked up two more in the fourth when Rusty Staub single. John Milner walked. Cleon Jones walked, and Jerry Grody delivered a two-run single. Here's a two-strike pitch now to Millan. Protects low and away, and it's 1-2. He was ready to swing away. The bunt was not on the two-strike pitch. Again, Hooten sets up, checks over his shoulder. Here's the 1-2. Swung on it in the air to right. Cardinal is coming up, and he decoys but can't get it. Garrett moves to third and holds up there, and Millan is on at first. Single to right. Cardinal came in. He was decoying. He couldn't get to it. He took it on a big hop, and Garrett had come down halfway and moved on over to third. So now here comes Whitey Lockman. Whitey Lockman is going to the mound. And here comes Mike Paul into the ballgame. That's all for Hooten. Hooten is out of the game. Mike Paul is coming in. Hooten has gone 4 innings and faced 2 men here in the fifth. Charged so far with 3 runs on 7 hits. Struck out 1, walked 1, is responsible for 2 runners left on base. Mike Paul is a left-hander who came to the Chicago Cubs from the Texas Rangers. He worked third of an inning yesterday, allowed no runs and no hits. This will be Paul's 11th appearance for the Chicago Cubs, during which he has won none and he has lost 1. Mike Paul. The base hit by Felix Millan was his 184th. Every time he gets a base hit, of course, it is a new club record for the Mets of hits in a season. The old record was 182 by Tommy Agee in 1970. That is also a career high for Millan. 183 is the most hits he ever had in the season. He now has 184. He has been at bat 636 times. That ties the mark for times at bat by a Met set by Agee in 1970. Mike Paul is taking his warm-up pitches here. Weather is cleared up here in Chicago. The Mets and the Chicago Cubs set for a doubleheader. If the Mets can win 1 game, they clinch the pennant in the Eastern Division of the National League. Of course, course, in the American League, the division winners have long since been decided. The Baltimore Orioles in the East and the Oakland A's in the West. The National League, the Western winner, the Cincinnati Reds. We're ready to go here now. The Mets have runners at first and third. There's nobody out, and Rusty Staub is up. At a base hit in the fourth inning. He'll keep his streak alive at 15 straight games. The Chicago Cubs play the infield in. Garrett is at third, Millan is at first, 3-0. Batting in the top of the fifth inning. Mike Paul now sets up. Here's the pitch. A try at first, and not in time. Runners holding. John Milner moves out on deck now. Hall sets up. Here's a swing and a miss. It's strike one. Sun is shining through the haze and overcast here now. Runners lead at first and third. Here's a swing and a miss. It's strike two to Rusty Staub. Left-hand batter facing left-hand pitcher here. Infield in. All reads the sign.
Number 184 of the season.
Now it's affirmatively now and sets up. Here's the two-strike pitch. Fastball inside low. 1-2 the count now. Again, Rudolph sends out the sign. Mike Paul with the pitch. Swung on, it's fouled off the handle back into the seats and out of play. And the count to Rusty Staub holds at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rusty pounds the plate as he comes back in. Millan at first, Garrett at third. Nobody out. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on, he's on the ground through the hole in the right for a base hit. Garrett comes on to score. Millan is around second on his way to third. Cardinal up with the ball. Crosses into second. Standing at third is Millan. On at first. Ground single to right and a run batted in. Rusty Staub and the Mets are leading by a score of 4-0. For Rusty Staub, his second base of the day. And for Rusty, his 76th run batted in. That run is charged statistically against Bert Hooton. Now, John Milner's the batter. He grounded out and walked so far. Walked and later scored in the fourth inning. The Mets 4 and the Chicago Cubs nothing. Cleon Jones has moved out on deck. That pitch is a fastball and across the letters tight. Ball one. 1-0. Then runners lead first and third. Infield still in for the Chicago Cubs. Curveball, and it's in for a called strike. It's 1-1 to John Milner. Rusty Staub at first, and Felix Millan at third. Then Paul sets up and deals. Fastball fouled off and out of play. 1-2 to John Milner. Paul takes a moment now, taking off his cap and resetting it on his head. Steps up to look in for a sign. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Right there is Rick Mundy. Tagged at third is Millan. Mundy makes the catch. Millan now comes down the line. Throw goes to second. The run scores. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in. Staub holds it first. And the Mets are leading by a score of 5-0. For John Milner, his 72nd run batted in. Cleon Jones will be coming up. 1 man out. That run also charged statistically against starter Bert Hooton. Books are closed on him now. He runs on 7 hits, still got 1 walk run, credited with 4 innings. Cleon Jones had a home run off Hooton in the second inning to get the Mets on the scoreboard early. Newton checks the runner at first as Rusty Staub takes his lead there. And the pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Jerry Grody follows Cleon Jones in the mid batting order. Staub lengthens out his lead at first base. Marcus holds against him there. There's a pitch in for a called strike. 1-1. All again takes his sign. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2 to Cleon. Cleon Jones, who's played some fantastic baseball for the New York Mets in the month of September, offense and defensively. Measures his stance in there again. Here's the 1-2. Fastball hit on the ground to short. Taken there by Kessinger. He goes over to Popovich for one to throw to first and not in time. As Cleon beats the relay. Rosello is at second base. That is Rosello, not Popovich at second base. When Paul came in the ballgame, Rosello came in as well. So that was Rosello on the pivot. His peg was down in the dirt at first base, so it's simply a force play 2 away, and Jerry Grody's coming up. Grody has had 2 base hits. He's knocked in 2 runs today. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Rosello was brought in as he was yesterday so that the batting order can be switched, and he will be batting number 9. There's a pitch low for a ball. Worked out yesterday when he got a base hit and scored the only run that was scored, as in the first game of the doubleheader, the Cubs won by a score of 1-0. Pitch to Grody, and it's high for a ball. Mike Paul then bats in place of Popovich. Number 7 in the order. 2 men out, runner at first, and the pitch is high. Ball 4 to Grody. First walk issued by Paul. Moves Jones up to second. Grody's on at first, and here comes Don Hahn. Hahn hit into a double play and fly deep to left. Billy Williams with a one-hand catch out there on a hit-and-run play in the 4th inning. The Mets are leading by a score of 5-0 as they bat here in the top of the 5th inning. Wrigley Field in Chicago. Now the pitch. And it's in there for a called strike. Runners lead first and second. Here's a pitch to Hahn. Swung on and fouled off. A 2-strike count. That was Nick catcher Ken Rudolph, so he straightens up now and moves around a little bit. Jones the runner at second, Grody at first. Rudolph down into the crouch now to flash the sign. The pitch hit on the ground right back to the mound. A comebacker taken by Paul. He placed the first to Marcus in time. Hahn is grounded out. Side has been retired, but the New York Mets picked up 2 runs on 3 hits, a walk, no errors, and 2 left. In the middle of the 5th inning, the score is the Mets 5 and the Cubs nothing. Right here, Seaver's taking his warm-up pitches before facing the Cubs, who will be batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Ken Rudolph to lead it off, and he's followed by Dave Rosello. Rudolph has been up 1 time, and he got a base hit. Seaver has struck out 1 and walked none so far. Rudolph is a right-hand batter. dyed-in-the-wool baseball fans are out here today. A good many of them Met fans. Seaver now starts to work. Here's the pitch to Rudolph. Swung on and fouled off right off the end of the bat. It's strike one. Rosella has moved out on deck. Start of the year, of course, Glenn Beckert was the second baseman for the Cubs, as he had been in recent years. It's a swing and a drive into center field for a base hit for Rudolph. Picked up by Hahn and played back. It's a leadoff single. That is the sixth hit for the Chicago Cubs, and it brings up Rosello. Paul Pavlovich took over along about midseason as the second baseman, and now Rosello has been used more and more in the lineup with a look to the future. Rosello's hitting .257 with 2 runs batted in. Been up only 35 times with 9 hits. Right-hand batter. Milner plays behind the runner at first. The Mets have a 5-run lead. There's a break pitch in for a called strike. Rick Mundy is on deck. Wayne Garrett in the cutout of the grass at third. Now again, Seaver sets up, checks over his shoulder, deals a pitch, and it's fouled off out of play, and it's a 2-strike count. Checks and deals. Curveball high and tight. It's 1-2 to Rosello. That's got a run in the second to go out front in this ball game. Here's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. And they got 2 in the fourth and 2 in the fifth. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Runner at first, nobody out. Now the delivery. Swung on, hit in the air to center, and here comes Don Hahn, and he gets up there, loses his cap, but makes the catch. Halfway and retreating to first. It's in Rudolph. Rosello has flied to center, and Rick Mundy will be the batter. He has flied to right and had a base hit. Had a single to center in the third inning. Mundy is a left-hand batter. Came to the Chicago Cubs from the Oakland A's in exchange for pitcher Kenny Holtzman. There was word last winter that Mundy might be available on the market. Here's a swing and a drive into right center field, up the alley, and Rudolph goes to second, turns and goes on to third as Hahn hustles up the ball, makes the throw to second. Rudolph stands at third. Mundy is on at first with his second base hit. So the Cubs quickly have runners first and third, 1 man out, and Don Kessinger's coming up. Complete the thought about Mundy. When the word was making the rounds, the rumors that he might be available, the Mets were somewhat interested. That they were aware that they might have some trouble in center field after Agee was traded away. Jerry Grody's gone out to the mound now for a word with Tom Seaver. Kessinger's a switch hitter. He's batting left. Been up twice and grounded out both times. He grounded out and then grounded into a double play. The Mets 5, the Cubs nothing in the bottom of the 5th inning. Seaver sets off the stretch. Runners lead first and third. Pitch to Kessinger, and it's swung on, and it is 1 hop past Harrelson out into left field. Here comes Rudolph to score. Holding at second is Mundy. Kessinger is on at first. He slammed out with a base hit past Harrelson out into left field, and the score is the Mets 5 and the Cubs 1. Runners first and second, 1 man out, and Billy Williams coming up. Harrelson came over to try to short hop the ball, but it skipped right on by and out into left field for a base hit and a run batted in. So the Cubs have had 3 hits here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Still only 1 man out, and Billy Williams is up. Seaver sets up. Runners lead first and second. Pitch to the left-hand batter. Swung on, and it is all out in into center field for a base hit. Around third and coming home is Mundy. On the way to third is Kessinger. Hahn returns the ball to second. One run scores. Kessinger's at third. Williams at first. Single to center. Run batted in. It is the Mets 5 and the Cubs 2. We have action going now in the Met bullpen. Doug McGraw is up and throwing. McGraw is throwing in the Met bullpen. 4 hits here. 3 of them consecutively. Ryan Sando is the batter now. But there's a conference at the mound for the New York Mets. Grody has gone out there. Rube Walker, the pitching coach, has gone out there as well. John Milner's over, and Doug McGraw throws down there in the bullpen. Opening this inning, Ken Rudolph had a base hit. Rosello flied to center, then Rick Mundy had a base hit. Kessinger singled to drive in a run. Williams singled to drive in a run. Rube Walker is jogging out of the Mets dugout. Seaver has struck out only one batter here today. He leads the National League with 250 to a season. But he has not had that hopping strikeout pitch. Sando in and waiting now. He has flied to right and struck out clean. Now Seaver with the pitch. Swung on and missed it, strike one. The game in Pittsburgh has begun. A slight delay, but it has begun in Pittsburgh between the Pirates and the San Diego Padres. Right here, runners lead at first and third. Seaver off the stretch. Pitch to Ron Santos. Swung on, popped up. And coming over in foul territory is Grody calling Garrett. He slips down and Grody makes the catch. Garrett squarely on the seat of his pants as his feet went out from under him, and Grody made the catch of the foul pop. Jack Akers up and throwing down the bullpen now for the Chicago Cubs, and so is Dave LaRoche. 2 men out. Runners holding first and third, and Jose Cardinal is the batter. He grounded out and had a base hit, 1 for 2. Mets 5, Cubs 2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The sun, which had shone through the overcast ever so slightly for a while, has disappeared again, and it is becoming somewhat darker. Williams is the runner at first. Kessinger is the runner at third. Seaver over his shoulder. Now the pitch. Swung on and missed for strike one. Gonzalo Marquez is on deck. Outfield defense slightly toward left against Jose Cardinal. That pitch is high. It's 1-1 now. Doug McGraw continues working in the Met bullpen, warming him up down there. Here's Seaver's 1-1 to Cardinal. Swung on and missed. Threw that one by him. It's 1-2. And now Augie down to Tully, inspecting something there. As he and Cardinal have a little conversation, Cardinal standing just outside the batter's box, tugging at his batting glove. Now he moves back in. The count is 1-2. Runners lead first and third. Seaver's pitch. Hung on and missed. Threw it by him. Swinging strike. Second strikeout for Seaver, who reached back and got a little something extra to get out of the hole. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 5 full innings of play, we have a complete game, an official game through 5 innings, and the New York Mets are leading by a score of 5-2. Nelson's gone 0 for 2, sent fly to center. The overcast has moved in again at Wrigley Field, where there are no lights. That pitch is high for a ball. It's 1-0. Again, the pitch to Harrelson. Hit way back in left field, and Billy Williams is retreating to the warning track. He's at the wall, and this one is off the wall in play. Harrison's going to second base, pulls up there with a double, and he missed a home run by the narrowest of margins. Bud Harrelson, with his 12th double of this season, hit that ball high off the wall in left for 2 bases. And that will bring up Tom Seaver. Mets might very well have Seaver sacrificing Harrelson over. The Mets are leading by a score of 5-2. In the season series, the Mets have won 6 and the Cubs have won 10. First Marcus comes under the edge of the grass at first now. Sando hanging around the cutout of the grass at third in anticipation of a possible bunt attempt by Seaver. He has the sign from Eddie Yost at third. Mike Paul now sets up. And here's the pitch. He's around, bunts the ball up the third baseline, a foul ball. Seaver bunting the ball foul up the third baseline where it's gloved by Ron Santo. It's strike one as Seaver comes back to the plate. Looking again to Eddie Yost to see if the sacrifice is still on. Wayne Garrett is on deck. Garrett's had 2 hits today. Single, double, scored a run. Marcus stays on the grass at first. Seaver, of course, was trying to make Santo field the bunt. Bunts this one foul, and it's out of play, rolling back. So it's 2 strikes now to Seaver. So what do? Do you have your pitcher bunt all the way? If he fouls it off, he is a strikeout victim, or do you let him swing away with 2 strikes now? Seaver has grounded out and grounded into a force play in his 2 previous appearances at the plate today. Marcus stays on the grass at first. Mike Paul is working in relief of starter Bert Hooton. Now the delivery, and Seaver's around. He bunts the ball and bunts it past the pitcher, and going to third is Harrelson. No play on Seaver, a base hit. A base hit for Seaver as he bunted that ball strongly past Paul, who was coming down to follow through. The ball was finally picked up on the infield grass by Kessinger. And Tom Seaver is on at first. Harrelson moving over to third, making a bunt base hit. That was Seaver's 100th Major League base hit. So now Wayne Garrett is coming up. Garrett's had a single, a double, and flied to right 2 for 3. The Mets lead by a score of 5-2, and they threaten to add more here in the top. The Chicago Cubs bring the infield in. Marcus holding against the runner at first. Harrelson leading down the line from third. Mike Paul, left-hander, working to a left-hand batter. Fields a pitch, swung on and missed. It's strike 1 to Garrett. Right-hand batter Felix Millan is waiting on deck. Nobody out as the Mets bat here in the 6th. Runners lead first and third. Here's Paul with the pitch, curveball, check swing, ground ball to second. Taken by Rosella, play at the plate, and he is out at the plate. Harrelson is out at the plate as Rudolph put a tag on a sliding Bud Harrelson. Moving to second is Seaver. On at first is Garrett. 1 away. With the infield in, the ground ball went directly to Rosella, the second baseman. He fired it into the plate where Harrelson slid in and was tagged out. So there's 1 man out, and here is Felix Millan at the plate. Millan is 1 for 3 today. Right-hand batter chokes up on the bat, goes into that batting crouch now as Met runners lead. Has a curveball in for a called strike. 0-1. Rusty Staub is on deck. Chant of "Let's Go Mets" from some hardy Mets fans. Mike Paul takes a look at the runners and now offers the pitch. It's low. 1-1. In Pittsburgh, the San Diego Padres did not score in the top of the first inning. So it is San Diego nothing, and the Pirates coming to bat. Runners lead. There's a swing and a ground ball to short. Could be 2. Kessinger over to Rosella on the throw to first. A double play to retire the side. So the Mets do not score in this half inning, as they had no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. And in the middle of the 6th inning, the score, and the Cubs 2.
The game continues at the beginning of side 3.
Seaver will face the Cubs now as they bat in the bottom of the sixth inning. In the fifth, the Chicago Cubs got to Seaver for 2 runs on 4 hits before he settled down to get Sano to foul out to the catcher and struck out Cardinal. So the Mets dugout will keep a careful eye on Seaver as he pitches here in the sixth inning. He has struck out 2 and walked none today. The Mets are leading in the game by a score of 5-2. Jack Aker and Bob Locker are throwing the bullpen now for the Chicago Cubs. No action in the Met bullpen. Gonzalo Marquez will lead it off. Left-hand batter. He's been up twice and had 2 hits. Outfield defense shades him slightly toward left, thinking he'll go to the opposite field. Here's a swing and a drive to right center field, and moving over is Hahn, and he makes the catch on the run. Ball was well hit by Marcus, but Hahn got a good jump on the ball and hauled it in. There's 1 man out. Mike Paul is scheduled up here, and we're going to get Peter Lecoq to bat for him. Peter Lecoq is batting for Mike Paul.
Lecoq will bat for Mike Paul. Lecoq for Paul.
Lecoq is hitting .267. He has 3 runs batted in. He's been up 15 times and had 4 hits. Garrett's gone over to have a word with Seaver. So Mike Paul is out of the ball game. Lecoq is a left-hand batter. He swings and misses strike 1. We have a correction now in the game in Pittsburgh. The San Diego Padres got a run. And the top of the so it's San Diego 1 and the Pirates coming to bat. There's a swing, the ground ball to the first base side. Seaver tries to run it down. He goes to the bag. Milner makes the play to Seaver in time. Seaver was trying to cut off the ground ball, saw that he could not, and also saw that Milner was coming to play it, so Seaver quickly changed direction, went to the bag. Milner came up with the ball and made the play over to Seaver for a 3-1 put out. Away, and Ken Rudolph is the batter. Jack Aker, Bob Locker throwing in the bullpen now. One or the other will be in to pitch the next inning for the Chicago Cubs. Mets lead 5-2. Cubs bat in the bottom of the 6th with 2 men out and nobody on base. Rudolph's had 2 hits and 2 times at bat against Seaver. There's a foul ball back and out of play. It's strike 1. In the early innings, this game continued right through a fairly heavy shower. Here's a swing and a drive to short taken by Harrelson for the out. A line drive to short. Harrelson took it, and Seaver retires the side in order. Nothing across at the end of 6 full innings. The score is the Mets 5 and the Cubs 2. In the 7th inning at Wrigley Field, veteran right-hander Jack Aker, A-K-E-R, assumes the pitching role. On the year, Aker has won 4, lost 5. He has 12 saves. He has been hit rather hard over the second half of the year. In a total of 62 innings, he has allowed 72 base hits. Normal way of comparing a pitcher's figures as to his effectiveness. He should yield fewer hits than innings pitched. And his strikeout-walk ratio should be about 2-1. In the 7th inning, Rusty Staub will lead off, followed by John Milner and then Cleon Jones. New York 5 runs on 10 hits. 6 men have been left on. The runs have been driven in by Cleon Jones, Jerry Grody, Rusty Staub, and John Milner. Rusty has 2 for 3 and a run batted in. The pitch by Jack Aker, lined hard over second, a base hit to center field. The 11th hit of the game for New York and the 3rd for Rusty Staub. Now the hammer will be coming to the plate. Milner has bounced out, walked, driven in a run with a sacrifice fly. The RBI for John Milner, number 2 on the club, 72. Club leader Rusty Staub has 76. Mets would like to put it away. They lead by 3. We are in the 7th. And a long drive hit deep to right center, but moving back is Mundy. He'll be under it. And he has it for the out. Staub draws the throw, holds at first base. That ball well hit by Milner, taken by Mundy in right center. 1 out and 1 on. Cleon Jones, the hitter. Cleon gave New York a 1-0 lead with a home run off Bert Hooton to right center in the 2nd inning. He walked in the 4th inning and reached on a force play in the 5th inning. Cleon 1 for 2. Cleon has 6 home runs in his last 9 ball games. 14 RBIs in his last 10. Now the pitch by Jack Yeager. Breaking ball, low outside, ball 1. A game at Pittsburgh of no importance to the Mets if they win this ball game. Now Yeager, the veteran right-hander, kicks the leg. Around comes the arm. Curve outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. If the Mets win it, they'll be returning to New York tonight. Yogi will give the club the day off tomorrow. They'll work out Wednesday and Thursday at Shea. After the Thursday workout, they'll fly to Cincinnati. Low outside, ball 3, 3-0. The Mets will work out in Cincinnati on Friday. And the championship series will get underway at 4 p.m. on Saturday at Cincinnati. 3-0 pitch. Cleon swings a foul ball, no play. Grabbed by the catcher, Ken Rudolph. Jonesy given the green light on 3-0. Now it is 3-1. Mets have not gone to their bullpen so far in this series. They had 2 complete games yesterday by Matlack and by Kuzman. Pitching 3-1. Foul ball, no play. Back toward the dugout of Chicago. And the day is now a little brighter. It'll be interesting to see if there's field. The infield is playable for a second game here today. The mound has been in very bad shape. The pitchers have had a very difficult time keeping their footing. The runner goes, ball 4. Jones aboard with a walk. Now Grody comes up with 2 on and 1 out, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
In the Capital District, this is the home of the New York Mets. WABY, Albany.
Bob Murphy with Ralph Steiner and Lindsey Nelson. 7th inning at Wrigley Field. The Mets 5 and the Cubs 2. Staub on second and Jones on first, 1 away. And Jerry Grody is the hitter. And Jerry takes a strike at the knees. Jerry has a perfect day at the plate, 2 for 2 and a walk. And over the last 7 weeks, his batting average has been 302. Jerry came off the disabled list the 11th of July. It took about 2.5 weeks to get going again. Foul ball, no play. And since then, he has been so valuable. It was understandable. The first couple of weeks back, Grody couldn't buy a base hit. Everything had to seem very strange to him. He was out 2 months with a broken wrist. On August 3rd, he was batting 178. Now he's hitting 258. Ground ball hit toward shortstop. Kessinger throws to second for 1. Rosello the first, not in time. Runners now at first and third, 2 down. Grody reaching on the force play. With runners at the corners and 2 men away, the batter is Don Hahn. Hahn has hit into a double play, fly deep to left center, tapped to the mound, nothing for 3. Mets 5 and the Cubs 2. This is the 7th inning. The doubleheader today, as yesterday, got underway at 11 a.m. Chicago time. Actually, about 20 minutes late today because... And the pitch on the way, fouled off. Jack Yeager, the third Chicago pitcher. Bert Hooton worked 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, 7 hits. Mike Paul in 2 allowed no runs and 3 hits. Now the pitch on the way. And a smack to third goes right by Santo and down the line. Staub is in to score, and it's 6-2. Hard hit ball went right by Ron Santo and down the left field line. We'll wait for the official scoring. The ball was hit very hard by Don Hahn. However, it will be an error on Ron Santo. So no RBI on the play. The 6th run of the game for New York, scoring on the error charged to Santo. Buddy Harrelson, the hitter, runners at first and second. The Mets now lead Chicago 6-2 in the 7th inning. Buddy Harrelson just missed a home run his last time up, batting right-handed. He wound up with a double high off the wall. Ground ball hit down to first. Marquez grabs it, runs to the bag in time for the out on the side, retired. In the 7th, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 were left. In the middle of the 7th inning, the New York Mets 6, the Chicago Cubs 2.
Introducing Boston Spa National Bank's free personal checking account service. Write as many checks as you want without a service charge by maintaining an average monthly balance of $400 or more. And if you prefer to maintain a lower monthly average balance, Boston Spa National's new personal checking account plan permits you to write as many checks as you want for a fixed monthly charge based on your average balance. No minimum balance required, no charge for deposits, no charge if account is at an initial supply of personalized checks free. You'll get a statement every month, and you can enjoy unlimited use of your account at no charge just by keeping an average balance of $400 or more in your account. And you may want to take advantage of Boston Spa National's computerized automatic payment service to build your savings account or make your mortgage payments or any installment loan payment. Even your Christmas Club payments can be automatic. Pick up a folder at your nearest office of Boston Spa National Bank for full details. Number FDIC and an equal housing lender.
14 WABY.
Last of the 7th at Wrigley Field, the number 9 hitter, second baseman Dave Rosello, will lead off. Then Rick Mundy and Don Kessinger to face Tom Seaver. Mets traveling secretary Lou Niss has the charter flight arranged. If the Mets win a game today, they fly home tonight. Now Dave Rosello batting for the second time. He skied to center field in the 5th inning. Rosello played at Wichita in the association this summer, batted .325. He's a right-hand hitter. And next spring out in Arizona, he'll be battling Glenn Beckert and Paul Popovich for the second base job. Tom Seaver looking in to Grody for his sign. And the pitch to Rosello, fastball, strike call. Seaver has not had his strikeout touch here today. He hasn't had that extra yard on his fastball. Tom has fanned only 2 hitters. And a bloop into short center, cutting in quickly. Hahn, it drops a base hit. And Rosello is on with a single to center. That ball was not hit hard. A little parachute dropping between the lines. And Tug McGraw immediately gets the jacket off. Rick Mundy coming up. Mundy 2 for 3. Singled in the 3rd and singled in the 5th inning. That was the 10th Chicago Cub base hit. New York leading by 4. We're in the 7th. San Diego leading Pittsburgh 1-0 after an inning and a half at Pittsburgh. And the pitch on the way, a swing and a miss, strike 1. Seaver would love to complete this game. If he can do so, he will lead the league in complete games with 19. Right now, he shares the lead with Carlton. Milner not holding against the runner Rosello. Left-hand batter Mundy waiting, and a foul coming back, strike 2. The Mets win this one. In all probability, Tom Seaver will square off against Jack Billingham on Saturday.
The 2-strike delivery. Fastball outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Rick Mundy. Don Kessinger waiting on deck. The 1-2 delivery way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tug McGraw has not been in a ball game in about 5 days because of all the bad weather. His last appearance was last Wednesday night. Two and two on Rick Mundy. Seaver in the set position. Now delivers. And a high fly, well hit to right center. It's way back. Back goes Rusty Staub. It may go. It is done. A 2-run homer for Rick Mundy. Mundy's 26th home run of the year. And we have a 6-4 ball game. Of the game, a towering fly to deep right center field. A 2-run homer. And this game is far from being over. Now the Mets lead has been cut to 2 runs. And the big hitters are coming up, and Yogi Berra is coming out. Mundy's 3rd hit of the game, and this one a long one. His 26th home run, he leads Chicago in round trippers. Yogi Berra walking slowly to the mound. Tug McGraw is warming in the bullpen. This has not been a good Tom Seaver ball game. He has now given up 4 runs and 11 base hits. Yogi is standing at the mound talking with Tom Seaver, and now the sign, I believe, is going to the bullpen for Tug McGraw. And Seaver will leave the game. Leaving the game after pitching 6 innings. He gave up 4 runs, allowed 11 hits. He struck out only 2 men, a very small number for him. And Seaver helped himself by not walking a batter. And Tug McGraw will come in. As Tug comes in the game, he will be pitching to Kessinger, Williams, and Sato. So the Chicago Cubs very quickly have narrowed the gap. Now Yogi is on his way back to the dugout. And McGraw works in relief for the first time since last Wednesday night. Tug has had a sensational finish. His last relief appearance was against Montreal. He worked 1 inning and gave up a run. In his last 16 appearances, McGraw has won 4 and saved 11. He gave up a run to Montreal his last outing, and it was the first run he had given up in about 9 games. So Tug McGraw, appearing for the 60th time this year. Tug has won 5 and lost 6. And has 24 saves to his credit. Mike Marshall of the Expos, the only relief pitcher in the league with more saves. So McGraw is on the mound throwing in his warm-ups. Rick Mundy putting Chicago right back into the game. A towering fly ball hit to right center. Don Kessinger standing by and watching as McGraw warms. Nobody out and nobody on. 2 runs are scored in the last of the 7th inning. San Diego playing at Pittsburgh. Of course, if the Mets can win this ball game, it will be of no concern to them. If the Cubs pull the game out, it definitely does become an important ball game to them. Now we are ready ready to go, and the batter is Don Kessinger. Kessinger hitting right-handed against Tug McGraw. The veteran shortstop 1 for 3 today, batting at .262. And McGraw out of his windup, the pitch. Swing out of this, at a curveball, strike one. On deck, Billy Williams and then Ron Santo. And the Met dugout suddenly is quite... A swing and a foul, no play, and the count strike two. Mets had opened up a 6-2 lead. Chicago getting two back in a hurry. San Diego 1, Pittsburgh nothing. They played 2.5 innings at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. McGraw getting his sign now from Jerry Grote. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. He lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've had a few periods here during the day when the sun has tried to break through it. It hasn't been bad, but for the most part, a gloomy day. Now McGraw over the head. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit slowly. Garrett racing in. Picks it up, straightens up, throws. He's out. Low throw, but Milner up with it. 1 away. So McGraw getting an important hitter, getting Kessinger out, batting in front of Billy Williams. Billy Williams 1 for 3, single to right field, driving a run home his last time up. The RBI for Billy Williams is 86th of the campaign. Now McGraw using the full windup. The pitch to Billy Williams. Inside, crowding him a bit. 1 ball and no strikes. The Cub captain, Ron Santo, on deck. The 1-0 pitch. Low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 delivery. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 2-1. Last of the 7th inning. A lot of hitting in the game today. Now the 2-1 pitch. The bouncing ball. Milner's going for it. McGraw will have to cover. He grabs the throw in time. 2 down. Williams is out. Milner to McGraw. 2 outs and nobody on. Now Ron Santo. Santo has skied to right, struck out, and fouled to Grote. Hitless and 3 times at bat. The Cub captain hitting a .267 on the year with 20 round trippers. Grote strolls to the mound to talk to McGraw. Both teams have pounded out 11 base hits. Inside and low to Santo. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 delivery. Fastball. That's a strike call, and the count is even at 1-1. The Padres 1, the Pirates nothing at the end of 3. Bruce Keeson and Randy Jones are the pitchers in Pittsburgh. The 1-1 delivery. Swing and a miss at a curveball. 1-2. New York 6 runs on 11 hits. Chicago 4 runs on 11 hits. He struck him out swinging. McGraw with a fastball takes Santo. And Tug takes him 1, 2, 3. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and none left. At the end of 7 at Wrigley Field, the New York Mets 6, the Chicago Cubs 4. And a fastball to beyond, no call strike. Doug McGraw on second base, 1 out, top of the 8th inning. Jack Eager delivered. At a ground ball, hammered toward the hole, smothered by Kessinger. The throw to first will not be in time. A base hit for Millan, but Kessinger saved a run. Kessinger, by diving for the ball and smothering it, kept the ball from going through into the outfield. Good base running there by Tug McGraw, not to get caught.
No doubt about that. Tug was on his way, moving toward third. He saw the ball stop, and he just put the skids on and scrambled back to second, and he got back there. There was no chance to get him.
Now Rusty Staub already with 3 hits in the game, 3 for 4. The pitch by Aker gets the outside corner of strike. Rusty hitting at 277. Drove 3 runs in the second game yesterday and has 3 for 4 in this game and a run batted in. Rusty's bat getting hot. Aker up in pitching position. Breaking ball inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ray Burris up in the Chicago Cub bullpen. He was hit hard in the second game yesterday by the Mets. The 1-1 delivery. A little bit outside, and Staub watches the ball carefully into the mitt of Ken Rudolph. 2 balls and 1 strike. Aker checks the runners at first and second. At a swing and a foul, no play. Coming back toward the on-deck circle. 2 balls and 2 strikes. John Milner is on deck. Milner is hitting the ball hard again after breaking out of a very severe batting slump. Milner was 0 for 20 when he broke the drought yesterday. One man away, the 2 runners lead. And a foul down the left field line off the bat of Staub, no play. Left-hander Larry Gura getting up in the bullpen along with the right-hander Ray Burris. Now the 2-2 delivery. At a fly ball, hit the right field fairly deep, and way deep, back toward the wall. It's off the wall for a base hit. McGraw, racing to third, will have to hold up there. Now Staub has a base open to run back to at first base. The bases are loaded and nobody scores. Staub hit a ball against the ivy, 370 feet out, and nobody crosses home plate. McGraw thought the ball would be caught. He held up. Millan almost ran up on him. Millan had rounded second. Almost caught up with McGraw. Staub was way over by second base, but there was nobody covering first. The first baseman failed to play, so he had no trouble getting back.
Real bad base running by Tug McGraw. If the ball is caught, he has no advantage to going over to third base after the catch. If he had been down the line halfway, he could have scored.
He would have scored easily. That's the 4th hit of the game for Rusty Staub. It should have been a double. It's only a single. Now Milner, the batter, the bases loaded, and a foul ball on the ground coming back. Well, Tug has just done a good job on the baselines and now pulls a rock.
Amazing thing right there, Bob, is that one of the runners behind him did not pass.
Millan was within about 2 strides of him.
That way the runner would be out if he goes ahead of the runner ahead.
Now the pitch. Ground ball hit foul by John Milner. The count strike 2. The base is loaded. 1 man away. Top of the 8th inning. New York ahead 6-4. That should have received 1 run on that long double that had runners on second and third. That ball carried well, but the first one in the air, it didn't appear to be going that far. Aker out in front on Milner with a 2-strike count. And the pitch, towering pop-up. They'll invoke the infield fly ruling. And the first baseman marks the center, and he has it for the out. So 2 men away. Now Cleon Jones. That's in a position here now to get nothing from this unless Cleon can deliver a base hit. Cleon has homered, walked twice, reached on a 4th play. Six to 4 New York. We're in the 8th. Cleon with 14 RBIs in his last 10 ball games. McGraw on third, Mian on second, and Staub on first. Now 2 men away. Right-hander against right-hander, the pitch. And a ground ball hit slowly to second base. Handled by Rosello, and he throws on to first, and the Mets do not score. They blew a great opportunity. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 3 were left on. Mets have had 11 left on base. In the middle of the 8th inning, the New York Mets 6 and the Chicago Cubs 4. Workout at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati on Friday and opened the championship series against the Big Red Machine on Saturday afternoon. But of course, for all of this to happen, the Mets have to win here today. Otherwise, we would have a tie, and the tie would have to be played off. If the Pirates lose, it would be a 2-way tie, assuming the Mets drop 2. If the Pirates win, it could be a 3-way tie. In the last of the 8th inning, Jose Cardinal will be leading off, followed by Gonzalo Marx, and then the pitcher, Aker, is scheduled to bat. Obviously, he will not be hitting. So the Mets wasted a tremendous scoring opportunity at the top of the 8th inning. Rusty did a towering fly at a deep right center that carried well, wound up hitting the ivy 370 feet out. It was only a single. Had Doug McGraw played it halfway, he would have scored easily. Last of the 8th inning. Cardinal, the Cubs' leading batter, 1 for 3 in this particular game. And McGraw ready to work. Here's the windup by Tug, the pitch, and a screwball low outside, ball 1. Jose Cardinal batting at 304. Now McGraw over the head. Down comes the pitch. Fastball, a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cardinal. The Mets have led all the way. They took the lead on Cleon Jones' home run early in the ballgame, back in the 2nd. Now it's low, and the count is 2-1. For the Cubs, Kessinger, Williams, and Mundy have all driven runs in. Mundy drove in 2 with a 2-run homer off Tom Seaver. And a line drive to second, caught by Mian, 1 man away. Line drive, not hit too hard. It may have broken his bat. Taken by Mian, 1 down. With 1 away, Gonzalo Marx will be coming up. Although he is not going to hit with McGraw, a left-hander in the game, it'll be Carmen Fanzone.
Carmen Fanzone will bat for Marquez. Fanzone for Marquez.
Right-hand hitter, Carmen Fanzone. Played first base in both games yesterday with the Mets pitching left-handers, Matlack and Kuzman. Fanzone, a right-hand hitter, batting at .275 on the year. He has 6 home runs. And Jim Hickman has come out of the dugout. He will be hit a pitcher, Jack Aker. Cubs will have a 4th pitcher in the game when we go to the 9th inning. Now the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, strike 1 call. In comes the pitch. Strike call on the inside corner. Curve by Tug McGraw. Tug with a 2-strike advantage. And the pitch on the way. A screwball swung on and missed. Strike 3. McGraw Fanzone on 3 pitches. Threw him a beautiful screwball to get him. Tug has retired 5 in a row in relief. Pinch hitter Jim Hickman coming up. The veteran Jim Hickman batting at .245 on the year. Mets leading 6-4, last of the 8th inning. 1 ball and no strikes. Ken Rudolph coming out on deck. Rudolph has hit the ball hard today, 2 for 3, retired on a line drive. Inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. If McGraw can get Hickman out, perhaps he will not have to face those big hitters, Williams and Sano, in the ninth. Foul ball, no play, 2-1. Pittsburgh scored 3 runs in the bottom of the fourth. They now lead San Diego 3-2. So now it's 3-2. McGraw with a count of 2-1 on Jim Hickman. The windup by Tug. In comes the pitch, and it is high to Jim Hickman. Ball 3-1. This got a 2-run home run to put the Pirates in front after Oliver had doubled in one. Pitching 3-1. Swing and a foul ball skidding off the bat handle. 3-2. If McGraw can get by Hickman here in the ninth, he would have Rudolph, Rosello, and pitching 3-2. And a line drive foul down into the Cub bullpen, no play. Hanging a screwball, and Hickman ripped it. Cubs will have a new pitcher in the ninth inning. The Mets have gone with Tom Seaver and Tug McGraw. The 3-2 delivery. And he held up in time. No, he didn't. He swung and missed. Strike 3. Hickman tried to hold on his swing, but he had gone through. In relief, McGraw has retired 6 in a row. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left in the last of the 8th inning. At the end of 8 at Wrigley Field, the New York Mets 6, the Chicago Cubs 4.
The game continues at the beginning of side 4 after a short delay.
Here's great news from the friendly people at Protective Loan Corporation. Protective can now lend you up to $2,500 for any good reason, whether it be a summer vacation, home improvement, or bill consolidation. Let Protective Loan help make financial problems disappear. Up to $2,500 can be yours now from Protective Loan. Protective gives one-day service, and there's always an office nearby. In Albany at 215 Central Avenue and 11 North Pearl Street, and in Schenectady at 1884 State Street.
Always wanted a nice, fresh, fantastically flavored French fry.
Bill Ashley, McDonald's Quality Assurance Supervisor.
In a 24-hour period, we do something like 2,000 different quality checks. We fry up a finished fried sample. We check it for color, flavor, texture.
You and your family deserve a break at McDonald's. And high-quality food like our French fries is what that break is all about.
W-A-B-Y.
We have 2 chips for Chicago for the 9th inning. Carmen Fanzone is now the first baseman, and the new pitcher is Bob Locker. Locker has been the Cubs' most successful relief pitcher throughout the year. He was the winning pitcher in the 1-0 game yesterday, his 10th victory against 6 losses. He also leads the Cub bullpen in saves. He has 18. So the veteran Bob Locker will face the Mets in the 9th inning. Jack Aker worked 2 innings, allowed 1 run, 3 hits, walked 1, and struck out none. Ray Shore, the advanced scout for the Cincinnati Reds, here watching the series. He'll be meeting with Sparky Anderson. A few raindrops are falling again as we approach the 9th inning. Jerry Grody has had another good ball game. Jerry 2 for 3 and a walk. He had a very big hit. He drove home the 2nd and 3rd New York runs with a timely bases-loaded single. In this game, the Mets have scored 6 runs, and they have wasted some very good scoring opportunities. Mets have had 11 left on base. And the pitch by Locker to Jerry Grody. A swing and a miss, strike 1. Now, in the last of the 9th inning, McGraw will be pitching to Ken Rudolph, Dave Rosello, and Rick Mundy. Fastball, a strike. Behind Mundy, you have Kessinger, Williams, and Sano. The umbrellas open out again. And the pitch on the way, low outside. It might very well be, if the Mets win this ball game, it will be the only game played here today because it is now raining again.
That mound has been very difficult for the pitchers because of the rainfall. Locker with a count of 1-2 to Jerry Grote. Down comes the pitch. At a fastball, strike 3 call. Mike Paul, Jack Aker, and now Bob Locker, the Cub pitchers in today's ball game. Now Don Hahn. Don is 0 for 4. Did one very long drive to the outfield back in the 4th inning that was caught. Outside to Don Hahn, ball 1. There will be no champagne celebration for the New York Mets until all of the baseball is through for the day. Inside and low, ball 2. 2-0 to Don Hahn. New York 6, Chicago 4. We are in the 9th. Pittsburgh leading San Diego 3-2 at the end of 4. And a swing and a foul ball. No play, 2 balls and a strike on Hondo. In rushing to the top, in the month of September, the New York Mets won 19 games. They lost only 8. On August 30th, they were in last place, 6.5 games back. And the pitch on the way, a towering pop fly out behind second. Rosello, the second baseman, is under it, and he has it in short center field. 2 men away in the 9th. Bud Harrelson comes up. Buddy has 1 hit, a double, in 4 times at bat. He hit that one in the 6th inning off Mike Paul. He just missed a home run. Center fielder Mundy swings way over to left center against Buddy, batting left-handed. At a drive in the air to left center, back goes Mundy. He turns and makes the catch. We are going to the last of the 9th inning. In the top of the 9th, the Mets are out 1, 2, 3. In the middle of the 9th inning, the New York Mets 6 and the Chicago Cubs 4.
This exclusive Belmont race recreation is presented by the Schenectady Off-Track Betting Commission. Own a bet.
In the starting gate for the second race from Belmont Park. And they're off. That's Smooth O'Neill out on top. Hay River is second. We watch third. Early Chief, Joe Shea, Never Stall. Dr. Arnold T., Tough Turkey, and Deacon's Night. Up around the first turn, that's Smooth O'Neill with a length lead. News Watch second. Never Stall third. Joe Shea making a move between horses fourth. Early Chief. Up along the backstretch, that's Smooth O'Neill with the lead with Joe Shea second. Early Chief third. News Watch and Never Stall. They approach the final turn. That's Smooth O'Neill out on top with Early Chief, Joe Shea, and Never Stall. Down the stretch and under the wire, that's Smooth O'Neill, the winner with Early Chief second and Never Stall third. The results are unofficial.
Schenectady OTB, where you're always a winner. Horse racing excitement is as close as the 3 OTB locations. 127 Wall Street, 2627 Broadway, and 1700 State Street, Schenectady. Or place your bet from anywhere with a telephone account. Place your Belmont Thoroughbred bets at OTB. Schenectady OTB. You can bet on it.
Have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The official results of the second race from Belmont Park. The winner, OTB letter A, Smooth O'Neill, returns $524 and $3. Finishing second, letter H, Early Chief, pays $620 and $480. And finishing third, letter E, Never Stall, pays $580. Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The daily double combination of letter F and A returns 45-40. For the second race, 1 minute 24 and 4/5 seconds.
This Belmont Race Recreation, a service of the Schenectady Off-Track Betting Commission.
14 WABY.
Garrett dove for the ball, could not reach it. Now McGraw up in pitching position. Checks the runner at first base. Delivers to the plate. Strike call to the inside corner to Dave Rosello. Rosello replaced Paul Popovich. He is 325 of the association playing at Wichita this summer. Now the pitch on the way, and it's high. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch on the way. Curve, swung, and fouled off. Ground ball coming straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harry Parker throwing in the New York bullpen, and so is Ray Sadecki. The Cub bullpen is quiet at the moment. The 1-2 pitch, fouled off. A screwball. He barely got a piece of it. New York 6, Chicago 4, bottom half of the 9th inning. A light rain falling. Now McGraw settles himself, delivers. He struck him out. Screwball, and Rosello is out. 1 man away. We'll get a pinch hitter for Monday. It'll be Glenn Becker. For Tug McGraw, his 4th strikeout. He relieved Tom Seaver in the 7th after Monday hit a 2-run homer. McGraw has now faced 8 batters in relief and struck out 4 of the 8. Now here is one of the most difficult batters in Major League Baseball to strike out. Like Felix Millan, he's Becker. He has been sidelined with an Achilles tendon injury. Right-hand hitter. Batting for Monday. The infield looking for a double play that could mean a pennant. It's high, ball 1. Becker cannot run full speed. If he hits a ground ball to the infield, it could be all over. And McGraw makes the 1-second stop. Delivers. Fastball, a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Glenn Becker. The on-deck hitter is Don Kessinger, and behind him, Billy Williams. The 1-1 delivery, too high. 2 balls, 1 strike to Glenn Becker. Becker hitting at 256, of course, a much better hitter than that. Now McGraw from the stretch. The 2-1 pitch, fouled upstairs, no play. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sadecki and Parker working hard in the New York bullpen. 1 out and 1 on. Beyond shaded toward the middle of the diamond against Becker. The 2-2 pitch, ball 3. Fastball high and tight. And the string is out on Becker at 3-2. Now the stretch by McGraw, the 3-2 delivery. The runner goes, and a little pop-up. Milner grabs it. He'll run to first. Double play. The Mets win the pennant. The Mets have just won the pennant in the Eastern Division. Beckert hit a little pop-up to first base. Milner grabbed it. Rudolph was running on 3-2. Easiest double play in the world. The Mets have stormed out of the dugout. They're all corralling and patting each other on the back. It's all over. The Mets have won it with a magnificent stretch drive. They won 19 and lost only 8 in September. They've won their first October ball game, and with it, they have won the pennant in the Eastern Division. And they wind it up on a double play. A soft hop fly down to first. Milner made an unassisted double play. And now a happy group of New York Mets are headed to the clubhouse. Now, whether we'll have a doubleheader or not, we'll probably know in a very few moments. A very gloomy, very bleak day in Chicago, but a day of happiness for the New York Mets. Whether or not a second game is played will depend entirely on the senior umpire, Augie Donatelli. In the 9th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and none left. 3 brilliant innings of relief work by Tug McGraw. His 25th pitching save of the year. He worked the last 3 innings. He allowed no runs, 1 infield hit. The final score as the Mets win the pennant. The New York Mets 6 and the Chicago Cubs 4.